It's time for Fantasy Football Semi-Pros.
Let's do it. Yeah, Sky, I like the headbang there.
What's that boy?
Sky, you can't have that football, okay? That's my football.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Football Semi-Pros. I'm Brandon. With me again is Ryan. Ryan, how are you today?
Awful.
Awful?
I didn't fall asleep until about 4 o'clock in the morning. I laid awake for about 6 hours, tossing, turning, sweating, freezing, sweating again, freezing, because I kept taking the blanket off, putting the blanket back on. And then I woke up at 6:45 to shower and clock in to work by 7. Blah. Long day.
All right. Well, we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're actually going to do something else first before we get to Devon versus the coin.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
And welcome.
Another game mode. Let's see if I can do it.
So this one,
I think I can.
this one's not necessarily about football stats or anything.
Oh.
So, Jamar Chase committed to another school besides LSU. Can you name that school? He temporarily committed to him for 8 days.
8 days, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee.
Nope.
Is it an SEC school?
It is not.
Howard. I have no idea.
Kansas.
Oh my, how things would have been different.
I know. That surprised me when I saw that.
8 days.
8 days. He committed on February 4th, 2017, and decommitted on February 12th, 2017.
Well, it worked out for him.
It definitely did. All right. So, now we'll get back to Devon versus the coin.
Well, we got to go over this week's results, right?
Yep, we're going over this week's results. So, I know we still have one game, but this week has already been decided.
The coin beat everybody.
Everybody.
It went 11-1 up to this point. I think it's got the Saints.
I haven't looked for tonight. I can't remember.
No idea.
But the coin right now is 11-1. Devon is, what is she? I think it was 8-4.
Yes, Devon was 8-4 this week. I was 8-4 this week.
Devon, I'd play.
No. Devon was 7-5. She only had 70.
She was 8-4. Remember, the app didn't count one of hers because I guess she overlooked it.
Oh well, okay.
Oopsies.
But I'm not going to play the disappointment one since we all lost.
We
but
all lost. Hey, there were some games this week, man. The 4 that I lost were all the early games.
My question is: the coin able to say this?
I'm the best in the nation.
Best in the nation! Well, since it's a 50-50 shot, I guess.
I believe the coin is now 500 overall at 53-53.
That would be correct.
All right. Well, introducing Devon to make her picks.
Week 8 picks. Drink my Pepsi here.
Listen, I don't know what kind of coin Barbara's using to
I know,
make
right?
these picks.
It was
but
a nickel.
I'm not a fan.
Nobody uses a nickel.
You gotta use the Sacagawea coin over
This
there.
is the
She's
dollar
on my
coin.
side.
Oh, whatever. You lost to it when I flipped the Sacagawea.
Yeah, well, we had a talk. And
Oh,
I think I'm
You talked to a coin?
No,
Oh,
sadly.
I was going to say.
Sadly, you didn't talk to it.
Weird.
Get on with the picks.
Well, anyway, week 7 is wrapping up tonight with Saints at Seahawks. I can't remember who you picked. I'm pretty sure I took the Saints, but we'll see. Anyway, let's move on to week 8 and look ahead just a little bit here. Only 2 teams are on byes this week.
Mm-hmm.
The Baltimore Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders. So they won't be playing. But all the other teams are still up and ready to go. First game this week will be the Arizona Cardinals. The Green Bay Packers traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals.
I say Cardinals win.
I was going to say, I think it just came out today that Devonte Adams was put on the COVID list. So he has to pass two. He has to have
Because
two.
he's vaccinated, he has to have 2 consecutive negative tests within 24 hours.
Right. So test 24 hours later. Test if they're both negative. He can play Thursday, but we'll see how that goes. So you took the Cardinals.
Yes.
That's fair. I mean, these are two. Something's got to give because the Cardinals are on a 7-game winning streak. Packers on a 6-game winning
I don't
streak.
think the Packers are the ones to break the Cardinals streak.
Who do you think is?
Tom Brady.
I don't know if they play the Buccaneers this year or this. Yeah, this season. Anyway.
It's going to be the Jets. Or Lions.
Yeah, something crazy's gonna happen. Well, they started off pretty slow this week, so man, I had me wondering and scratching my head there for a minute. But anyway, the coin took the Packers. Go Pack, go! But hey, I root for Murray. I root for Rondell Moore, and our old fan favorite AJ Green is now there too. So, and Zach Ertz is there. They got so many weapons in Arizona. All right, next game. Let's move this forward. Panthers travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons.
I picked the Falcons.
I don't blame you. Okay, so the Panthers started 3-0 and they've dropped 4 in a row. Sam Darnold's seeing ghosts out there or something.
That was my thinking,
And
exactly.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the Falcons have won their last 2, week 5 and week 7.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Yep, they did. Pretty sure. All right, next game. Dolphins travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills.
I'm going to go with the Bills.
Yeah, pretty easy there. I mean, the Dolphins just can't figure out close games anyway. I don't think they're gonna give the Bills a game, especially after they got embarrassed by the Titans. I wouldn't say embarrassed. They got manhandled against the Titans. But anyway, San Fran travels to Chicago to take on the Bears. Oh, sorry. The coin took the Panthers and the Bills. The coin took the Bears in this one.
Coin is wrong. 49ers.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
There's no spread for this game, so even Vegas gets confused. They don't have a favorite in this one.
Well, it's because the 49ers were playing last night, and I haven't had a chance to do anything with it today.
Yeah, I figured that was it. And they just did. I know it was like a monsoon out there last night, but 49ers didn't look too impressive again. All right, next game. Philly travels to Detroit. Eagles are favored by 3. Who you got?
I picked the Lions.
You think the Lions are going to break their losing streak? They haven't won a game all year.
They haven't?
No, they have not. They are 0-7.
Can I change my mind?
No.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Okay, you can if you want. I'm taking the Lions this week.
I just felt like it was the Lions. I don't know.
Are you sticking with the Lions or are you
I
changing
think
to
if
the
the
Eagles?
Lions are going to beat anyone, it's probably the Eagles, isn't it?
Okay, well, are you sticking with the Lions?
I'm sticking with the Lions.
All right, the coin took the Eagles. I'm going to go with the Lions in that game, too. The Lions have been so close, especially,
Except for the Bengals.
Yeah, the only game they
And the
haven't
Rams.
competed in was they only lost by a couple scores.
Yeah, but
And
I
that
wouldn't
was
necessarily
late.
call that close.
It was late. Nah, you're all right, next game. I think this is going to be a really good game. We got 2 really good running backs coming up in this slate. Tennessee Titans travel to Indianapolis to take on the Colts.
Pick the Titans.
Yeah, I think I've picked against the Titans the last 2 weeks, and bad on me. I thought they were playing really good teams, but yeah, as much as I'm
What does
impressed,
the coin have?
the coin has the Titans. But as impressive as the Colts have been the last couple weeks with a healthy Carson Wentz, I would tend to agree with you. All right, Bengals traveling to New York as 9.5-point
The
favorites.
Bengals were shockingly good this week, right?
Yeah, they beat the Ravens.
So I picked the Bengals
For
the first time ever.
they're heading to New York to play the Jets. The
Yeah.
Jets are on their possibly their backup QB. Well, they're on their backup QB and possibly a third stringer because they just traded for Joe Flacco.
Sounds like more opportunity for the Bengals to win.
Throwing bombs like Flacco. Okay, the coin took the Bengals as well. All right, next game, Rams at Texans. I think this is an easy one.
I picked the Rams.
Coin took the Rams as well. All right, next game, New England traveling to L.A. to take on the Chargers. The Chargers are favored by 5.5.
I went with the Chargers. It's a little on the fence, but
I don't know. The Patriots are looking pretty decent now. They're opening up the playbook a little bit. But yeah, Coin took the Chargers. I think you're probably right on that one. We'll see. Patriots have a pretty solid defense, but I don't know. I thought the Ravens had a good defense until they played the Bengals. But okay, next game, Jags at Seahawks.
I went with the Seahawks.
The Seahawks. Okay, the Coin took the Jaguars, and the Seahawks are favored by 3.5. Did you draw a coin with poop on it?
No, it's a coin going down in flames.
Oh, well,
See, that's George Washington. He's frowning, and he says, I lose.
Gosh. Wow, everybody.
You were a little slow getting started. I had to entertain myself somehow.
Would you like to show the fans?
No, they don't.
All right, next game. The Washington football team travels to Denver to take on the Broncos in an intriguing matchup for anybody betting or just picking.
The Washington football team?
The Coin also took the Washington football team. The Broncos, however, are favored by 3.5. I don't know when Ryan Fitzpatrick's due back yet, but Taylor Heineke, as hot as he started, I don't see it. I think this is one of those games the Broncos are going to win because it's a really bad team, but we'll see. Coin, Devon, Washington football team. They agree.
Hey!
Guys, come on.
Naughty puppies.
All right. Only a few more games here. Wow. So my theory might be right about the Saints. They play the Buccaneers. They host the Buccaneers next week. Bucks at Saints in New Orleans.
I went with Tom Brady.
Quite possibly.
Drew Brees was still there.
Yeah,
I would go with Drew Brees. Brady's not, so.
I would like to see if
Tom Brady.
Michael Thomas comes back for that game. I'm pretty sure he's not playing tonight, right? Which is bad news because it's a late week, or the last game of the week. We'll see. If Michael Thomas comes back, I might consider the Saints, but I'm going to stick with my odd weeks, wins, even weeks, losses. Anyway, Sunday Night Football. Cowboys travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings.
Cowboys.
Oh, the Coin took the Bucks, everybody. The Coin.
Stupid Coin.
They took the Bucks and the
know.
Bucks Saints. But
I
the
was gonna
Coin
pick the opposite of
in
what
this
I picked.
one, the Coin took the Vikings.
Well, I took the Cowboys.
I see that. They're favored by
Feel
1 point.
super confident about that pick.
That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. Monday night upset.
I think the Vikings.
No, Monday night.
No,
This next game.
gotcha.
New York Giants travel to Kansas City to take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Mahomes.
You're going to Chiefs? Okay, Coin took the Chiefs. I'm just going to call it upset right now. Upset City. I'm not going to pick the Giants, but...
And you can't call an upset.
Okay, I'll call the upset. I'll call it. The Chiefs look like garbage this year.
But
Defense is non-existent. Patrick Mahomes has 16 interceptions in his last 16 games. That's a great...
I'm guessing that means I didn't do well in fantasy football this week.
Nope. No, you did not. I can't
Thanks a
remember.
lot, Mahomes. Thanks a lot.
It was all Mahomes.
Maybe
If
I
you
should
would have
stop
had
betting
it,
on you.
if you would have had a good,
Maybe I should have picked
if
Tom
he
Brady.
would have had a even just a remotely,
Particularly care for him.
yeah. I mean, Tom Brady's like what, top 7 right now, maybe even a top 5.
I know he's in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, if Patrick Mahomes would have had like even a decent game, you probably would have won. But hey, that does it for Devon's Week 8 picks. That's it.
Did we do Steelers Browns?
I don't remember it being red.
Oh, I skipped him. Oh,
Yikes.
sorry everybody.
Slighted.
All right, the Coin took the Chiefs, by the way. Steelers travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Browns are favored by 3.
We went with Cleveland.
Yeah.
Home advantage.
So did the Brown, or the Coin took the Browns too.
It's kind of a rivalry.
If it's brown, flush it down. If it's yellow, let it mellow.
Philosophy solidified.
Well, that's how you save water for flushing your toilet, or you just go outside and pee. I don't
Life
know.
Lessons by Ryan Coons.
Yes, life hacks. Life hacks.
Pro tips.
Pro tip. Sky, what are you doing, baby girl? Okay, let's get to those wires. Those wire ads.
Yep, so we're going to start with our Week 8 waiver wire ads. So, quarterback-wise, I don't think there was a lot of good streaming options out there this week. The one I did choose, I went with Kirk Cousins. He's 60% rostered right now. And he's been throwing the ball well. He's been scoring up there.
Well, what about Matt Ryan? Is he highly rostered right now?
I think he was. I can't remember.
I know I have him as my backup.
And I can't remember who they play now. All Panthers.
Panthers, yeah. Yeah, favorable matchup. They gave up 25 to the stupid Giants.
Matt Ryan is currently 70% rostered.
Oh, never mind. Scratch that,
Yeah.
everybody. I called that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, typically what I'm looking at, I'm looking for 50% or less rostered. But there's no real good streaming quarterbacks that are less than 50% rostered.
Well, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
So our next ones, I have a couple running backs on here. Kenneth Gainwell, 38% rostered.
Mm-hmm.
Sanders went down. This might be just one of those ones like a deep dynasty league or something still.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even be playing Gainwell or Sanders in it.
I wouldn't start him unless
draft.
absolutely necessary. But we're out of the bye-apocalypse, so you're probably not needing him. But
Just in case.
he does get passing work,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it might be a committee between him and Boston Scott, but him getting the run and the passing work could help him out.
This is true.
The next one I have is Rashad Penny. He's 42% rostered, and actually, if you have somebody that you can drop tonight that's playing that you don't need anymore, or if your league allows it and you can drop a bench guy, it may not hurt to go out there and pick up Penny.
No.
That's if you can do it before the game starts.
Yeah.
Otherwise-
about an hour from now.
I kind of see how he does tonight, but I wouldn't mind using a waiver wire ad on him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, as long as Carson's out, with Geno Smith in there, Pete Carroll showed it last week against the Steelers. He wants to establish the run to help out Geno Smith. So
He wants to establish a run even with Russell Wilson in there.
yeah, but whoever those running backs are, they're not going to get you Derrick Henry numbers or James Robinson numbers, most likely, or Alvin Kamara numbers or Jonathan Taylor numbers. But they're going to be serviceable RB2s, if not, or at best maybe a flex 3. But still, yeah.
And then I
I
have
agree with that.
two wide receivers on here. T.Y. Hilton, he looked good in his 1 week. He did suffer a soft tissue injury. He didn't play this last week, but I think he's going to be used when he's back. And then after that, I have Russell Gage. He caught the touchdown for the Falcons. They need a number 2 wide receiver.
They really do.
So he could be a guy that kind of steps up and
Well, he was their number.
produces.
He was their number 2 before he got injured, and he was doing pretty good before then. I'm surprised he's only 28% rostered. Maybe I should take it.
Well, especially this week, it's hard to roster injured guys if you don't have an IR slot.
Well, he's not injured anymore.
Well, I
he
know,
just came back
but I'm
from
just
injury
saying.
last week. He just came. He played last week.
You want to see it before you start him or
I
pick
mean,
him up.
well, he had a decent game.
I know.
But, I mean, I need all the help I can get because not last week, but this week and 2 weeks ago, I have played wide receiver 2s who have put up goose eggs. And it's really killing me in all fronts, man. I need at least 12 points from Kamara to solidify a victory tonight. I'm shaking, man. I'm nervous. Because we don't know what Sean Payton's going to do. I might lose.
What if Inman, before the game starts, picks up Winston or Smith?
It is what it is, man.
And then I have tight ends. Jared Cook's a solid ad. He's 48% rostered.
Yeah.
CJ Uzama, he's a streamer, but he's only had 2 weeks where he's been relevant.
Yeah.
He's a touchdown-dependent tight end.
You're going to have to play the matchups, man. I think T. Higgins...
I still think you can predict it based off a matchup, though.
Yeah, it's really fluky. It's unpredictable. But, I mean, T. Higgins, he's demanding respect from the defense from last year. Jamar Chase is really taking over the spotlight in Cincinnati in that wide receiving core, which really stinks because I really love T. Higgins. And I don't have anything against Jamar Chase. I just don't have any shares in him. But yeah, CJ Uzuma could be. I mean, we're past the bipocalypse, so I don't know if he's gonna be a necessary add anytime soon.
Uzama, he could be like if you're in a pinch. Like I said, he's a touchdown dependent tight end
or DFS play.
Yeah. And then streaming defensive wise, this week I went with Cincinnati versus New York Jets, Seattle versus Jacksonville, and San Francisco versus Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, Seattle's defense is pretty good against their run, but we've seen Jacksonville go against some pretty good run-stopping defenses and put up rushing yards.
And this was the hard thing again. It's looking for teams that are closer to 50% rostered that have good matchups.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Because I would love to say Rams against Houston.
Yeah.
But the Rams are pretty much rostered in every league.
Yeah, I played the Cardinals defense against Houston. I think they only scored 17.
One piece of advice I want to give on this one, and it's something I've been trying to do a lot lately, especially this year. Look a week ahead. So after waivers run tonight or tomorrow night, look who can you drop and look at a week ahead. Like, okay, this team plays the Jets. This team plays Houston, and try to pick up that defense. Get a week ahead of people.
Yeah.
Anybody that you want to add to these lists?
Man, I don't know what Tony is rostered in a lot of keeper leagues, but if he's out there and you have a spot on your bench to keep him on, Tony's not worth taking a shot on. Tyrell Williams, if he's still available.
I don't think so.
I think that Lions offense is really hurting for some wide receiver depth, and I think when Williams comes back, he'll be a good contributor. He won't be Cooper Kupp good, but you could be right. I just have him in a dynasty league, and
You have like a soft spot for him.
I just think, he's battled so many injuries, and a lot of them aren't his fault. Well, maybe because of lack of training or whatever. But yeah, I really want to see him do well. And
Kadarius Toney he has 58% rostered, so he might be out there in your league.
He's not.
Not in ours, but no. I'm not talking to you.
I know.
I'm talking to our viewers and listeners.
I know, but we only have 2 viewers right now, and it's probably
2 viewers live. That's what I'm saying. We have people who watch on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
We have people who listen on Anchor or Spotify.
Whatever.
So
Get on with it!
I'm not talking to you.
Get on with it.
All right. So we'll go ahead and start going over our Week 7 recap.
A lot of, how about them Browns?
Yeah, maybe they don't need good skill position players.
Maybe their
offense is just set up to be good.
Yeah, that offensive game plan, man, it's beating everybody. Doesn't matter who's back there. I could be the running back for the Browns and do well.
They did lose to the Chiefs.
Well, that was week 1. If they played them this week, I guarantee you the Cleveland Browns would win. Chiefs.
But yeah, the Browns won 17-14 over the Broncos.
And that game still was nowhere near as close as that score indicates.
No. And the big name out of here is Ernest Johnson.
Yeah.
And I think he has a role moving forward with this team, especially with Hunt out.
I wouldn't be surprised if some people come knocking on the door for one of these running backs in this Cleveland Browns backfield.
I don't think you can trade somebody on IR, so it would basically be Ernest Johnson. That would get traded if any of them do.
That's true.
And with Hunt being projected to be out at least 3 weeks because of the IR, probably more.
They're probably going to hold on
to him. Yep. But the Browns want to run the ball 30 times a game. And Nick Chubb, especially coming off an injury, he's not going to be running the ball 30 times a game. So
I think all these running backs are going to have value.
Ernest Johnson definitely has some value in leagues.
Well,
until Hunt's back.
We're about just over a third of the way through the season, and he has the freshest legs underneath him, so yeah.
Yep, and that always tends to help.
Mm-hmm.
We've said it. Javonte Williams, Gordon, it's a timeshare. And these guys need touchdowns to be
And you
Useful.
don't know which one, because I mean you have these stats up here. Williams 4 carries, 6 receptions. Gordon 8 carries, 2 receptions.
It's a true timeshare. They're getting 50-50.
But 1 week, Gordon will have more receptions but less carries, and the other week, Williams will have more receptions and less carries, and like this. But man, it's
I will
so
say
man.
the one positive for the Broncos is their schedule gets easier as the year goes on.
Well, they need it because they're not a very good team.
So if one of these guys goes down, the other one could be a league winner.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some shares of Gordon again.
You can't quit him.
I can't.
Courtland
Crack
Sutton,
cocaine.
his numbers, huh?
Can I say that? Crack,
Well,
crack cocaine.
Probably not.
Oh,
I would
sorry.
avoid that.
My bad.
Courtland Sutton, 5 receptions, 68 yards. He is talented. And this offense, I just wish they had a better quarterback.
I thought Bridgewater was gonna. I still think he's a better option than Drew Lock. But man, Bridgewater did so well last year in Carolina and with a backup running back. But now we're looking at this and it's like these numbers are not that impressive at all. 23 to 33, 187 yards and 2 TDs with an interception. Ah man, you're hoping for more explosiveness out of this offense.
Sutton might be someone to try to sell high right now. Because when Judy comes back, I'm not sure there's going to be enough work to go around.
I just don't think
Between him, Sutton, and Fant.
Yeah.
Did you hear what Troy Aikman said Thursday night?
Somebody's going to be left out. What?
He thinks Tim Patrick might be the best receiver on this team.
What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Troy Aikman said Tim Patrick might be the best receiver on this team.
Well, we all know Troy Aikman is on air, blitzed out of his dang mind.
So, we don't know that for sure.
It sounds like it the way he talks, and his eyes are always bloodshot.
But no, I mean Tim Patrick, he's good, but he's definitely not the
is.
best receiver on this team.
Not by a long shot. I'd rather have Sutton than Patrick.
As for Browns receivers, I'm probably not touching any of them. I might take a shot on Landry, but wouldn't be until he's fully healthy.
Yeah, that might be a couple weeks because we saw both OBJ and Landry try to work through their injuries this week, and they were on the sideline a lot.
Yeah.
And,
Well, Landry, I think, was really on the sideline once for the injury. But Odell, between the AC joint injury and I just think he's kind of washed.
Yeah, I think he's
not adjusting to the offense.
His best days are behind him, most likely.
All right,
Once he can recover.
so we'll move on to the Bengals versus the Ravens. Bengals won 41-17.
How about them Bengals?
This game wasn't even close watching it.
No, I think we were flipping back and forth. I mean, Joe Burrow had a day. I mean, really only one big mistake, which was that interception there.
But
I believe it was early fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they were saying, like, Joe Burrow, he has full trust in Jamar Chase, so he was just throwing it up, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can't. I mean, at that point, it was
still semi-close.
I think it was 28-17 at that point, and you can't.
You don't want to make those mistakes, but
right.
He still hasn't played a full season's worth of games, so he's still going to make some of those rookie mistakes.
Yeah, and I was talking to my dad through text message during the game, and I said he's still young. His confidence may have gotten in the way there, and he'll learn. He'll learn not to make that throw because it didn't cost him this time, but down the road it could. So I think he'll be all right.
And then yesterday, this backfield was a true timeshare, which was kind of surprising.
I think with Mixon coming off of that injury a couple weeks ago from that Thursday night game against Jacksonville, I think they're trying to ease him back into that workload that he had.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long to expect this, but I would be a little hesitant.
And I just noticed the typo in my show doc, and I really wish this was true. I typed Jamar Chase, 8 receptions, 801 yards.
Wow, that'd be one heck of a day.
But no, he had 201 yards, 1 TD, and he did have 1 fumble.
Didn't hurt his points any.
Uzama, we mentioned him. He's touchdown dependent. 3 receptions, 91 yards, 2 TDs.
He has 4 touchdowns this year, and they've all came in 2 games.
Yeah.
So 2 TD games, and that's it.
And the thing that impresses me with Uzama, he makes people miss at the end of those.
Yeah, he's just like a really big, agile wide receiver.
Did you hear the rule that the Bengals have?
What's the rule?
If you get tackled by that last person, you have to do push-ups in front of the whole offense. Uzama's like, I'm not doing push-ups in front of this team.
They've probably thrown eggs at him or something.
Higgins, 7 receptions, 62 yards. Boyd, like we said, he's going to have games where he goes off, but 4 receptions, 39 yards.
And if you have stock in Higgins, Higgins had a lot of targets this game. I mean, a couple times Joe Burrow just blatantly overthrew the ball, didn't even give him anything he could catch. Other times it was in the vicinity, probably should have been caught, but Higgins is still getting the targets. He's just not getting the yards, and he's not getting in the end zone. And I would think and hope that
the touchdowns will come.
They're gonna come because I mean Chase just lit up the Baltimore Ravens defense like a Christmas tree on Christmas morning. They're gonna start keying. If they haven't started keying on him yet, they're going to.
Well, his 1 touchdown catch
was a slant.
It was a slant, and he had 4 guys right around him.
Yeah, he just kind of wiggled his way through and weak tackling.
As for the other side of the ball, you're still starting Lamar. His legs give you the added bonus that you need.
8.8.
You're avoiding this running back room.
Yeah, still.
It's a true committee. No one's getting more than 5-6 touches.
Yeah.
No, actually, Freeman had 7.
Ooh. Wow.
But still.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doge impressed. No,
but you're starting Hollywood Brown. You're starting Bateman. 3 receptions, 80 yards.
But he still had 6 targets.
Yeah. And then Mark Andrews, 4 receptions, 48 yards.
Not a great day. But
better days are ahead for this team, though.
Yeah.
They just kind of...
They look dead out
there. They got
there,
punched in the mouth by the Bengals.
I don't know what it was. They didn't play on Monday, did they? Against the Colts the week before?
No, I don't think so.
I thought it was a Sunday night game.
I can't remember.
But yeah, anyway. They look like fish out of water. They did not look like they were ready to play. And the Bengals took advantage of that. And I'm going to quote J.J. Watt, maybe the Bengals are just better. No excuses.
All right, so our next game we had the Washington football team, the Packers. The Packers won 24-10. Heineke, man, I feel bad for this kid.
Yeah, especially with him on my
He should have had at least 1 more touchdown.
Twice.
Yeah.
Back-to-back plays. I don't understand that rule of giving somebody up. I mean, he's diving into the end zone and you're giving yourself up.
He wasn't really diving into the end zone.
He's more like he tripped or something. Yeah. I don't know.
But the rule is they want to do it to avoid the hit.
There was nobody
to keep people healthy. I understand.
They were not within 5 yards of him.
But moving on to this running back room, McKissick actually I think played more snaps than Gibson.
But
Gibson had more of the touches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think McKissick was on the field for 66% of the plays.
Something like that.
Something over 60%.
Terry McLaurin, 7 receptions, 122 yards, 1 TD.
Doing McLaurin.
Ricky Seals-Jones, he's a starter until Logan Thomas is back for you.
Yeah.
Rodgers, you're not benching the kid.
The kid?
I know, I just want to talk about that. All right. But you're not benching the guy. Aaron Jones, 6 carries, 19 yards, 5 receptions, 20 yards. He's not performing the way he had been the last few years.
Since that Monday night game in San Francisco where I think he went off for 4 touchdowns?
Mm-hmm.
Was that San Francisco?
Possibly, I think so.
I don't know. But yeah, ever since that game, his workload's been down.
But the news is neither of the running backs did anything in this game for him.
They didn't really have to.
Devonte Adams, there's nothing to talk about him. He does Devonte Adams things.
Yeah, but I mean, we just talked about it earlier. He's
likely out for this week.
He is most likely out Thursday.
Which, it fits the Devonte Adams mold. He misses multiple games a year anyways.
Yeah.
And still ends up close to the top.
He's just that good, man.
Robert Tonyan, this is his first game since I think like week 2 with a touchdown. He's just a streaming tight end right now. He's touchdown dependent. Alan Lazard, 5 receptions, 60 yards, 1 TD. Somebody's gonna have to step up Thursday night. Could be Cobb, could be Lazard.
Could be Tonyan.
Could be Tonyan.
I don't know, man. This is good offense. Good offense, just so many weapons. It's hard to pick the right one besides Devonte Adams and Aaron Jones. You got to play Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I'm not saying bench him, but I'm saying lower expectations for Jones right now.
I would agree with you, good sir. Extinguished gentlemen.
All right, so our next game, we had the Chiefs at the Titans. There's not a lot to talk about on this game. The Chiefs.
There's a lot to talk about. Like, what the heck happened? But I don't know, man. This Chiefs team is struggling, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. This had to be their worst loss in years, decades, centuries even.
This was, I think, Patrick Mahomes' worst loss of his career.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I mean, Mahomes, he didn't do anything for you.
Nope.
I think better days are ahead for Williams. Better days are ahead for this Chiefs offense.
I mean, he had 2 turnovers, an interception, and a fumble lost.
Kelsey, he still put up. He's not been the dominant tight end you drafted him to be.
No,
but he is still
third round.
He still is the leading tight end by like 11 fantasy points.
You know who's catching him? Gesicki.
I know.
Gesicki.
So my question for you.
Okay. I like my opinion being heard.
You have Taysom Hill. Or not Taysom Hill, sorry. Tyreek Hill.
If I have Tyreek Hill.
You have Tyreek Hill.
No, I don't, but if I did.
We'll say you did.
I do.
Hypothetically. You have Tyreek Hill.
All right.
Somebody offers you Jamar Chase for Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
Are you taking that?
Yes. Yes, I would take Chase.
Do you think you could possibly get more?
I think.
Or are you just smashing accept on that?
Accept, man. I just think, and this might sound crazy, I think whatever bond Burrow and Chase had at LSU is just magically blossoming here in Cincinnati.
You know, it goes to the shower theory. Players that showered together in college tend to play better in high school.
That's super bleak. In
NFL. No, it is a theory that analysts have used in the past.
That's a weird thing. No, I mean, Tyreek Hill, I feel like he has a decently high floor.
Usually.
And crazy high
Which,
ceiling.
6 receptions, 49 yards isn't going to kill you.
No, not at all. But, I mean, look at Chase's number this year.
I know. We keep saying that touchdown rate's it's not sustainable.
Nope.
But he keeps doing it.
He says, "Oh yeah, how you like me now?" I don't know. I would definitely go with Chase. Yeah.
All right, so that's for the other side of the ball. Tannehill, he's back to the Tannehill he was last year and the year before. Very efficient.
Dude, I mean, 21 of 27, 270 and a touchdown. I mean, if you waited till the 10th round to draft a quarterback, you did good. If you got Ryan Tannehill, because you did good.
I'll admit, I've been stressing about that one for a few weeks.
You know, you got to give him a break here, though. He's been playing a few games without A.J. Brown and his number 2, Julio Jones. But, I mean, A.J. Brown's been back, has been relatively healthy the last 2 games, and has looked really good. So maybe that was the piece he was missing, you know? Maybe that's what he needed.
Potentially. So I got a question for you.
Okay.
Would you rather get hit by Ray Lewis in his prime, or try to tackle Derrick Henry? 5 yards from either one.
Well, okay. Well, I would rather meet Derrick Henry, so I'm gonna try to tackle Derrick Henry. Because I feel like he's one of those guys that are just nice enough after he embarrasses you.
He'll pick you up.
Come over and say, "Hey man, you all right?"
After he throws you about 10 yards with a stiff arm.
I would make Josh Norman look like Goliath, all right? But yeah, I would try to tackle Derrick Henry. Why not?
I mean, there's not much to talk. This was the floor game for Derrick Henry.
And it wasn't a bad game. He still had, 16 points, I think?
He still ended up with a little over 100 yards total and a touchdown pass.
Which was more than Patrick Mahomes. Wow.
A.J. Brown,
Wow.
he's over the food poisoning from Chipotle. 8 receptions, 133 yards, 1 TD.
I'm in love with Chipotle.
What is up with you today? You got so much energy.
I am exhausted, dude. Slap happy. And it's that song. I had Flacco pop up on one of my banners as a notification, and I just kept thinking, Flacco, Flacco, Flacco. If you haven't seen it, YouTube, I'm in love with Chipotle. It's hilarious.
But A.J. Brown is probably the only pass catcher you're starting for the Titans right now.
Hate to say it, but I dropped Julio Jones. Dropped him.
All right, so our next game, we'll go ahead and move on. Falcons at Dolphins.
Okay.
The Falcons won this game 30-28 with a last-second field goal.
As time expired, yeah. Younghoe Koo.
Younghoe Koo.
I don't know why I keep doing that. Younghoe Koo. I know his name. Hey, man. He's the most money kicker this year. He's the most accurate.
Yep, he missed a PAT, but I think he made up for it.
He did certainly make up for it.
Matt Ryan had a solid game. 25 completions, 336 yards.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
Cordero Patterson, he's playing maybe 40% of the snaps, but he is getting the touches.
Yeah.
Mike Davis, 4 carries, 10 yards, and he played 60% of the snaps.
Yeah, Patterson had 14 carries plus 2 receptions for about 61 total yards and a touchdown. Patterson's definitely the running back you're going to play here if you need it, but I would, if you can, I would avoid him in an RB1 or 2 slot and play him in a flex. He's a great flex option. I will say that.
I will say last week, in one league I had Patterson at running back. Another league I had him in at wide receiver.
That's funny.
Pitts, if you had patience with him, it's starting to pay off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which what we're preaching.
Yeah, and I do not. You offered me a great trade for Kyle Pitts earlier in our dynasty league, but I paid high. I paid high for Kyle
I
Pitts.
felt like I was paying high for him too.
I drafted Kyle Pitts 1.2 overall, and
in a super flex league.
In a super flex league, and I needed a quarterback because Deshaun Watson
still needs a
gone.
quarterback.
Still, I drafted. Well, I went and got Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I was like, he's a 1-year rental. I'll just get somebody in the next draft. But we'll see, man. Yeah, Kyle Pitts, great day, great couple of weeks, over 100 yards receiving the last 2 weeks. I wouldn't expect this to keep going this well, but fantasy managers can hope so.
Oh yeah, I think he's basically lining up as a wide receiver.
Yeah, he's basically the number 2 out there. It's great. I love it.
Ridley and Gage, you're starting Ridley, even though he only had 4 receptions, 26 yards, and a TD.
That's just solid.
We mentioned Gage. He's someone to keep an eye on that might be worthy of a start.
Yeah.
For the other side of this ball, Tua's playing well.
Tua deserves a better fan base than the Dolphins. They don't give him any respect, man. You watch those games, and it's not Tua's fault. He's not making the mistakes. That offensive line is awful, man. They don't give him any time to throw.
Which is surprising because they made sure to try to bolster that when they drafted Tua.
They just don't block for him, and he's still out there, 32 of 40, 4 touchdowns. Granted, 2 interceptions, but Tua's playing some great football since being back from the rib injury, and I hate to see it. I loved watching him at Alabama because, I'm a Purdue fan. They don't win. I had the bandwagon somewhere 10 years ago, so I picked up on Bama. But, I've been watching Bama for a while. He's a great kid. He's great football IQ, great athletic ability. This defense, this offensive line, these fans, they don't deserve him.
If you have Gaskins, I'm saying try to sell high while he's got one of these big games. I think his last games has been every other game that he's actually done well. Mm-hmm. And then he's done nothing in the others.
No,
we were watching this game like back and forth, and it surprised me when I saw how many touches Gaskin had.
Yeah,
it turned always, every time we turned it on, Ahmed was touching the ball.
Yeah, Ahmed was in. And Ahmed, and he was... Yeah, dude. Gaskins was never in the game. And then all of a sudden it's like 15 carries, 67 yards. What?
As for Gesicki, he's kind of getting the Jimmy Graham treatment when he was on the Saints.
Just getting peppered with targets.
No, not even that.
What do you mean?
He's lining up in almost nothing but wide receivers.
Well, I mean, they don't have anybody, dude.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, though. Like, do you remember there was actually a controversy when the Saints tried to tag Jimmy Graham? Like, franchise tag him?
No.
They were trying to franchise tag him as a tight end.
But
He wanted to be franchise tagged as a wide receiver because he was lining up as a wide receiver.
Hey, man.
There's so much more money into that.
That's fair.
But, Gesicki, if you have him and you're patient, it's paying off now.
Hey, man. All right, sorry for the technical difficulties. I guess our speaker thingy, monitor thing.
Our battery died in our... Yeah.
So we're gonna speed this up, and we got 40 minutes before the next game, the Monday night game. So we're gonna start back at the Jets and Patriots, and we're gonna go from there.
Yeah, not a lot to say about the Jets.
Nope.
Carter had a good game. He's someone, like I said, to keep rostered, but other than that, I'm not starting him unless absolutely needed.
Patriots side, I would just hold on to Mac Jones for bye weeks. He's starting to make an argument to even possibly become a QB1 week to week.
If they continue opening up this offense, I agree.
Yeah, I think Bill Belichick's starting to trust Mac Jones, and he's kind of learning from his old Tom Brady experience to trust his quarterback.
Yep, and Harris, I think he's going to be an every week start from here.
Yeah, he's at least an RB2 in all formats.
All three running backs this week had good games, but I think Harris is going to be the only one that's consistent.
I mean, it was a 54-13 blowout or something like that, so...
As for pass catchers...
Avoid them.
Yeah. I will say Jonnu Smith started to make... they started actually trying to use him and even line him up as fullback.
Yeah, but
Hunter he did Henry, get hurt as well.
Hunter Henry's getting most of the looks receiving-wise as a tight end. Panthers-Giants.
Yep, Panthers-Giants. Giants won 25-3. Darnold, you can drop him at this point.
He's seeing ghosts out there. I just want to say that again.
That's your favorite line.
It is. It's hilarious.
Hubbard, you're still starting him if needed. DJ Moore, 6 receptions, 73 yards. He's the only receiver I'm really considering starting here.
Yeah.
As for the Giants, Daniel Jones, bye week fill-in. He's looking fine. He's turning the ball over less for the most part.
Yeah.
Devontae Booker, he's not getting the Saquon Barkley level work, but he's usable until Barkley's back.
I think Slayton's a good bye week fill-in, possibly even a wide receiver 2 flex play here.
Quick rundown
of
what you guys missed. So Ryan picked up Slayton earlier this week.
Yep.
Had
him in my wide receiver 2.
Dropped him for Kirk. Then decided to drop Kirk. Yeah. Then decided to drop Kirk for Amon-Ra St. Brown and played Amon-Ra St. Brown for 0 points.
0 points. And I had Slayton in there originally.
He apparently doesn't listen to the podcast.
No, I don't.
About this Thursday.
I can't stand your voice.
I can't stand mine either.
Fair. At least we agree.
Hey! We mentioned Dante Pettis. He threw the pass to Daniel Jones. I mentioned he could be a good bye week fill-in. He wouldn't wash you the week this week.
No, he did pretty good. I think 13 points.
Eagles at Raiders. Hurts. He does it again.
Garbage man.
Garbage man. Yep, I'm going to start calling him the garbage man because all his points come during garbage time.
That's it.
He's a better fantasy option than a real life quarterback.
Yeah, but at this point, I think really the only offensive weapons besides Hurts to play here is Goddard and Smith. If you're really just hoping for a high ceiling with Smith, but this offense isn't clicking at this point for that.
Yeah, you gotta hope they get a quarterback, whether it's Deshaun Watson or somebody else.
Yep.
As for Vegas, Derek Carr's making an argument to be an every week starter.
Yeah,
he's looking good. Josh Jacobs left this game with a chest contusion. He's got next week off. They're saying he should be back in 2 weeks.
Foster Moreau filled in for Darren Waller pretty well. I don't know the significance of Darren Waller's injury or illness or whatever it was.
It was an injury. Apparently he tripped over a teammate on Friday.
Oh, man.
It tweaked something.
Well, hopefully he gets better, but Foster Moreau has proven he's a solid fill-in until, Waller's back.
Foster Moreau would probably be a starter on any other team.
Oh, yeah.
Almost any other team.
That's how I feel about Hayden Hurst. He's just overshadowed by Kyle Pitts.
And then you're not really trusting any of these receivers. They all three are talented, but it's a guessing game who's going to have the touchdown each week.
Yeah, who's going to have the hot hand, and that's a dart throw I don't want to take.
So our next game, we got the Lions at Rams. Rams won 28-19. Goff, you're probably not starting him. He still looks rough out there, wandering guy.
I don't even know if I would play him in a QB flex or QB super flex league.
I started Tua over him. I'm willing to start Trevor Lawrence over him
That's fair.
in a Dynasty 2 super flex league.
At least they go through progressions.
DeAndre Swift, he's actually the third best running back in fantasy so far this year.
It's that PPR value.
He's staying in your lineup.
Yep.
Khalif Raymond, I wanted to mention him. He's someone I wanted to put in my waiver wire ads, but I'm still hesitant.
Do you know that you cannot find Khalif Raymond in any dynasty or trade calculators?
No,
Like any trade he does not exist in any trade calculators. I don't know why.
But Khalif Raymond, what was it? I can't find it. 6 receptions, 115 yards.
18 points.
He has those weeks like this where he's going to go off, and he has weeks where he might get 2 targets and not have a catch.
Yeah, it's hard.
Hawkinson, he's going to remain in your lineup. 6 receptions, 48 yards.
Stafford is a must start.
Yeah, as for the Rams, Stafford, Henderson, Kupp, and Wood, Woods, Higbee. And you might even be able to throw out Jefferson if you're in a deeper league.
Yeah, in a flex position for sure. That's all we have to say about that game.
So our next game...
Next game where we don't have stats.
He has stats just for the Texans.
Yeah.
So our next game, Texans at the Cardinals.
You're starting Kyler, you're starting DeAndre Hopkins, and dart throw.
It's a dart throw for the other
Zach
wide
Ertz
receivers.
might actually be a solid tight end start now.
Speaking of the Texans, though, Deshaun Watson, I just wanted to bring this up.
Trade talks.
Yeah, trade rumors are heating up fast. They're now saying multiple teams are interested. The 2 big names that we've heard are the Dolphins and the Panthers.
You know, this all could have been avoided during the offseason. You know, when Aaron Rodgers wanted out of Green Bay, just send Deshaun to Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers to Houston.
I don't know that Aaron Rodgers wanted to go to Houston.
Oh, well.
I mean, you heard what Randall Cobb said about Houston.
It was awful.
It's like a second-rate team.
Yeah, sorry.
But I'm not saying use number 1 or an early priority on him or use a lot of fab. Try to get him on the cheap. Trade deadline's, I think, next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So pick him up if you can. I know I can put him in my IR slot when he's deemed out. And I just drop a kicker until, just so I can have the space on my bench until I can't move him there.
Well, I mean, this offense is pretty awful. Brandon Cooks is the only viable play here at any position.
And then he's still going to struggle at weeks 2. But I think it's going to get better when Tyrod Taylor's back.
It's just his target share is going to be so high because there's such a lack of weapons there. That's about all you're going to play.
All right, so our next game, the Bucks at the Bears. Or Bears at Bucks. The Bucks won 38-3. Justin Fields, you're not even rostering him this year.
No.
Khalil Herbert, he definitely needs to be picked up in every league if he's not already.
Yeah, and he needs to be in the starting lineup.
If you can get 100 rushing yards against this Bucks defense,
you're pretty solid.
And I think he's going to have a role once David Montgomery's back.
Yeah.
Komet, another kind of tight end dart throw, 5 receptions, 43 yards. But other than that, I'm not really looking at anybody.
The quarterback play for the wide receivers is just poor right now.
And as we said, when you guys couldn't hear us, unless you can read lips.
Mitchell Trubisky's probably been the best quarterback that Allen Robinson has had, right?
Yeah, Allen Robinson, he's just kind of going through the motions out there. I think he's just trying not to get hurt, trying to get that next contract somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
As for the Bucks, you're starting Brady, Fournette. Ronald Jones actually had some run, but that was because this was a blowout.
I mean, you could even argue Godwin, Evans. Oh, Antonio Brown when he's back.
And Gronk.
And Gronk when he's back, yeah.
Excuse me.
I mean, Bruce Arians is throwing the ball a lot. They just run so many plays.
I don't think Bruce Arians is throwing it.
Well, he's calling the plays, right? He's calling the plays.
Brady might be calling those plays.
Well, it's also, what's his name? What's the offensive coordinator there?
Byron Leftwich?
Yeah, Byron Leftwich. Yeah, they're just throwing the ball a lot, and they just run so many plays a game. They just put up a lot of points. So, yeah. Any of these guys are probably good plays anywhere in your lineup.
All right, and then the last game of the week, or no, not of the week, of Sunday.
Last night's game.
We had the Colts at the 49ers. Played in the...
like a monsoon.
Bomb tsunami or something, whatever they call it. I can't remember.
Something crazy.
The Colts won this game 30-18.
It was not strong quarterback play on either side of the ball.
It's going to be tough, too, in those kind of conditions. So I'm going to kind of say, like, hey, keep expectations. Because just about everybody had troubles holding on to the ball.
Yeah, even Jonathan Taylor was having the ball punched out of his arms, and you don't really see that a lot.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, I think Frank Wright finally listened to people and said, hey, I got to get Jonathan Taylor the ball.
Yeah, he had a good game.
And someone I kind of want to throw out there might be a buy. Michael Pittman Jr., 4 receptions, 105 yards, and a TD.
I went and looked up at like 2 o'clock in the morning last night when I couldn't sleep, see if he was available in our keeper league. He is not.
No.
I think Herrick has him.
But in spoiler alert, Saturday we're doing buy sells for dynasty leagues.
Buy sells, baby.
And he's going to be on one of these lists.
Uh-oh. Is he on mine?
I don't know. We'll leave that for Saturday.
Is he on mine? I'm asking you guys. Is he on my buy or sell? I can't remember.
Did you hear what Shanahan said after the game when they asked, is Garoppolo still your starter?
No, I didn't hear it. I went to bed.
He's like, I guess so.
Either
he's getting just tired of answering that question, or he's not trusting Garoppolo anymore.
But here's the thing, man. Garoppolo's been hurt. I mean, after that Super Bowl run where he played great that year,
he was still more of a game manager.
But that's what Brady was in New England. So that's where he gets it from, because that's where he.
I think he's more of a game manager than Brady. Like not saying he's better than Brady. He had to just.
Right, and that's fine. That's fine, and it works in certain offenses. But they rode the back of probably one of the best defenses the league has ever seen. But Garoppolo has not looked all that impressive to me. And you went and got Trey Lance in like the 3rd overall,
4th, I think.
top 5 pick somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And the questions are still going to come. And as a head coach, you need to handle yourself with some professionalism. And even though it gets monotonous and boring and annoying,
my question is, do we see a Trey Lance Justin Fields matchup next week?
I hope not.
Elijah Mitchell, this is his job. He had
It's still
18
loose.
carries, 107 yards, and a TD. Now, a lot of that came in like the first 2 drives. But
Yeah, he had like 60-something yards after the first 2 drives, and then they just stopped giving him the ball.
he looked good.
I was sitting here thinking, why are you trying to get so cute and pretty with all this stuff? Like, probably.
And then Deebo Samuel, 7 receptions, 100 yards, 1 TD, and a fumble loss.
I mean, he was.
Did you hear them in the game last night, though?
Uh-uh.
He's getting too many targets. The announcers were saying this. He's getting too many targets because he's their only focal point.
I don't see how that's a bad thing.
Because defenses know who to key on.
Well, I guess, but I mean,
Brandon Ayuk, he needs to step up.
Brandon, I puke.
Pretty much. Brandon, I puked.
Brandon, I pooped.
Which, this doesn't necessarily have to do with fantasy football, but how is that punt not a safety?
You know what? I don't know, and we've talked about this before. I hate the rules in football that reward
Bad plays.
bad plays. They reward players for bad plays. Like a quarterback severely underthrows a ball, and then the DB gets called for pass interference. That's
Because Rick Savers
BS.
running back in.
That's BS. You can't. You're running full speed down the field, and there's so many things. Yeah, and you're gonna reward the quarterback for underthrowing a receiver. Come on, man. You're gonna reward Brandon Ayuk for kicking the ball on a punt return into the end zone and then recovering it and getting tackled.
Another one
back
that
there?
drives me absolutely nuts is you fumble into the end zone, you're going to, and it's a touchback. When any other time, if it goes out of bounds, it's back where you fumbled it.
Yeah, if anything ends in the end zone that was touched in the field of play prior,
It's a touchback.
safety. It's a safety. It's
Not
a
according to the
safety.
NFL. It's a
the
touchback.
NFL and the NCAA and all the high school associations need to get their crap together and fix this, because this isn't rocket science. It's football.
It's not rocket surgery.
It's not rocket surgery, as our coach used to say. Let's get this right. Stop rewarding bad plays. Stop rewarding bad plays.
All right,
Nobody
so
wants to see it. Come on.
time to get off our soapbox.
Come on. Come on,
So
man.
we do have to make a pick for Thursday night. Packers at Cardinals. I did mention I was probably going to pick the Packers, but with the news of Devonte Adams out, I think I'm going to go Cardinals.
It's not guaranteed that he's out.
It's most likely happening.
I think something's going to give here, and I'm going to say the first 4 to 5 weeks, Arizona looked really, really good, but they haven't had to play well these last couple weeks, and they've kind of dipped to their opponent's level, but they've still won pretty easily. I don't think this is. I don't think Arizona's going to go undefeated this year.
No.
I just don't think this is the game. I'm going to go Arizona.
All right, well, that's all we got for you today. Remember, like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe, share, like, comment on YouTube. Look us up on Spotify. I think Ryan's having too much fun.
I did not sleep last night.
So we are going to wrap this up. You
Hey.
guys have a good night.
Enjoy Monday Night Football. I wish Carrie Underwood was singing the Monday Night Football song too. NFL, get that going.
Yeah, I was going to give it a minute before we got up to do that. This is more guitar than drums. Might as well switch to your air guitar.